Alright, everything's pretty dry. We're getting into the home stretch here. I don't like the look of it being outlined as much as I like the shaded look. So I think I'm going to go over it a little bit more, the lettering, with dark, a little bit darker. So I'm going to tip my brush in the black just to give a little bit more tone, deeper tone to the lettering color, which is like a Prussian blue. And after I rinse my brush, get a little on the tip. Now this hasn't been pre-wet again. Maybe I should. A little more pink than that. There we go. I'm just going to add another hit of color. Because it looks good enough straight-wise anyway, excuse me. And now see if you get that little water line, you just buff it in. I think I'll do that with all the letters to like shade them. Okay, you can see there. I don't know if you want to watch me do the whole thing. It just gives a little bit of that watercolor look and a nice variance of shading on it. I'll do the P and then I'll leave it to you guys, because I don't think you want to watch me do them all. But see how adding that extra layer on the left side of the P gave it a little bit nicer look. I guess I'll do the E too. I'll show you one more. I can't resist. I can't stop. I'm leaning more toward the edges on this. And then I'm just rinsing my brush and kind of blending it. Okay. Now, of course, if you want, you could certainly outline with a Micron Pigma marker. That would be nice. So those two letters are shaded a little more, and the others I'll do off camera so you don't have to watch through. The last thing we're going to do are the little ornaments, which are fast and easy. Again, we're going to rinse our brush, dampen that area. I'm starting with the blue one. Now remember, our light source was going to be from up here, so I'm going to flip this around. The ornament's going to be straight cerulean blue, so I have to wet that a little bit, using mostly the tip of my brush. I'm going to start at the bottom. You can see it's a strong color. It's a pigment, I believe. And get rid of some. There we go. Kind of work it up. It's a little more water. I'm concentrating on that lower, meaning lower, this half. So I want more color down there. Then I'm going to flip over, rinse my brush pretty much, re-wet, because it seems like it's a little dry. It's not moving as much as I would like it to. There we go. Re-wet the ornament. And now just on the tip, we're going to kind of line it. And see how it pulled in. Now see, that's a nice effect. The trick is not to play with it too much. I want a little more color on the bottom. And I'm going to leave it, I think. No, I got to play there. Because what we're doing with one color is doing the shade, the base, and the highlight all in one. This one actually came out a little better. So now, move on and let it alone for a while. You can still play with it later, but let it dry first. So I'm going to rinse in my big water. And the next one will be the ball. And we're going to do that the same way. We'll put a little more water because that first one wasn't quite wet enough. And I'm going to flip it over because I want more color on the bottom, and I'm right-handed. And this time we're going to go to our permanent red. Pick up the edge of the brush. And just start to lay it. And you can see it pulling. To me, this is the fun part of watercolor, watching it move. And okay, now if I went all the way around, it would probably fill it in. So what I'm going to do is rinse my brush, let it sit a minute because it'll dry quick. And then, now see how it doesn't crawl across the paper as much? Because you let it absorb in a little bit. And then finish. And if you want to pick up a little more for the top edge. Okay. Leave it alone. Now you could pull some out if you want. I'm looking for my cotton swabs. Here they are. They're right in front of me. If you want, you can dampen a cotton swab. And pull a little bit out. And that'll make your highlight a little stronger. Okay, and the trick is to leave it. Now we're going to rinse the brush again. See how fast this can be? Your base coating, shading, and highlighting all in one. Same thing here. We're going to go green this time. I think it's Hooker's green, which is really a pretty color. And that'll give it a nice little different color. Same thing, we'll start at the bottom. Test the waters just very lightly. And see what it's going to do. It's quite wet, so I want a little more paint down there. I'm going to nudge it up to the line. There's something very therapeutic about watching this. I love it. Let it dry a little. Maybe black. And then it's kind of what's nice too is when the paint hardens, you don't have to pick out of a pool. You just brush the damp brush on top of the hardened watercolor, and you can get really a strong line of paint for doing lining. And that's how I did the eye too. You couldn't see it with the black, but you could get a good concentration there of paint. I see a drop hanging, a drop of death. See that? And what makes watercolors look so nice is the variance and the clarity of the colors. And that's where these missions are just outstanding, I think. Now see, you don't want to leave it like that with a big blob. So I'm going to bring this, you coax the paint where you want it. I'm going to coax some of that paint. Take the Q-tip. Pull some out. It's a lot more controlled than you think it would be. Sorry for that, gang. There was a little jump there. My battery went on my camera. At least I heard it. Anyway, we're giving one little more bit of color down here. Okay. And aren't those ornaments beautiful? One color on each of them. I think they look really nice. Now, the final thing I'm going to do on the camera is the little lines on the ornaments. We'll finish them up. I'm going to do it with a brush, and I'm going to use my number 2 brush and black paint. And I'm going to do as I mentioned, where I wet the brush tip and tip it into the black paint so it has a good thick coat. And I'm just going to eyeball it. You could have your line there if you want. Just a real easy little line. There you go. That's one. This one's going to attach to the antler. In order to do this, you add just a little pressure and you look where you're headed. And you just put the brush down and very gently drag it. Okay? It's 2. And now I'm going to put this here for my hand. And I think I have enough left. I'm going extra slow because I'm on the camera. And 3. And I liked adding lines to this one. See, if I were to line this stuff, I would line it with the brush. Not the marker. But that's me. Okay. Give a little eyelash. Check your painting and see, you know, where you might want to touch them up. as I said, I think for the most part he's good. What I did on the card was this is a half sheet size, so it's regular cardstock. I just folded it. You know how to do that. You use your ruler instead of a pencil. You use your stylus and do a score line. And it's easy to fold. And I have all these little goofy deco edge scissors and just cut it out. And I used from the dollar store one of these glue rollers. It has tape on it. They have it at Staples and that too. And you just roll it on the back and tape them on. And then you can have a homemade Christmas card, or you can put them in a frame or whatever you like. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope to do many more of different things, including watercolors, because I think you shouldn't be afraid of them. They're a lot of fun. They're easy. Look how little paint I used. Look how much is left. Get started again. Like I said, you could probably make 20 or 30 of these cards on that little tiny amount of paint. So they're not expensive. They're an investment, but they're a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed the videos. Come to my website, toepaintingdesigns.com, and you can see all my other patterns and my wood surfaces. And you can go to Scroll Girl Canada on YouTube and see my YouTube channel and my other tutorials. Thank you and enjoy painting.